Let's get to some news. This was a big one yesterday. So this is from PubKey. It says, congratulations to Justin, aka Squirky Wrath, the winner of the Bitcoin sign guy auction for 16 Bitcoin. That picture was taken yesterday in New York. So this fella here bought the buy Bitcoin sign for 16 Bitcoin. What's the price of that even? It's got to be close to like $1 million US. No, would it be? I don't know. It's tough to do math live. Anyways, that's how much. This was the picture from the guy sitting behind Janet Yellen in Congress. He held up the buy Bitcoin notepad. That's it. And this fella here paid 16 Bitcoin for it. I don't know. What do we think of that? Is that a good investment? Waste of Bitcoin? Kind of the thing that I thought about when I saw this was that there are a lot of people, I shouldn't say a lot. There are people out there though who have been in Bitcoin for a while now. And they have a lot of Bitcoin to spare. Like, think about it. If you were buying Bitcoin, I know this is very rare and not many people actually kept all their Bitcoin. But imagine if you were buying Bitcoin at $1 or $2 or $100 even, how much Bitcoin you would have, or if you've been mining for the last 10 years. And so to be able to buy a notepad for 16 Bitcoin, and then I was thinking, yeah, it sounds pretty good in theory, but I really believe that as we get through one more cycle, two more cycles, the people who are here today are going to have this sort of ability, fuck you money, essentially, to use in the future. Because the only thing that this guy has done is he was smart enough to buy Bitcoin, but he also had time on his side. That time has gone on. His Bitcoin has appreciated, or everything else has fallen in comparison to Bitcoin. And he's able to buy stuff like this. And I really believe that if you're here today, if you're watching the show, if you're buying Bitcoin, if you're earning Bitcoin, not that this is a real big goal that you want to be able to buy a piece of paper that says buy Bitcoin on it. But I'm just saying, like, that's the only thing that this guy was time. So we'll get there. So Daddio says the price of that piece of paper, that notepad, was $1 million US. So good investment, or does that might perfectly illustrate how dead our dollar is. When somebody is paying the equivalent of $1 million US for a notepad. Do you know how much $1 million purchased you? Like when I was growing up as a kid, somebody had $1 million house. It was like, took up the whole town pretty much. Now, if you're building a new house in any city, you're not going to be able to build it for less than $1 million. That's how depleted our dollar has become. And that's a perfect illustration of that. Somebody paid $1 million for a piece of paper. Crazy. I don't know about that, but I mean, whatever. It's his Bitcoin. He can do what he wants with it. Yep. Aaron, perfect. He says Bitcoin is basically a live tracker of fiat demise. And I saw that the Japanese dollar, is it the yen? I don't know. I always confuse the Chinese dollar with the Japanese dollar. But if you look at it compared to Bitcoin since Bitcoin's been around, the Japanese dollar, yen, whatever it's called, we're now worth zero compared to Bitcoin. 0.00. That's how much the Japanese currency is worth compared to Bitcoin. So, and I think Jeff Booth illustrates this perfectly all the time. Everybody keeps saying, when's this going to happen? When is Bitcoin going to be taking over? When are we going to get into hyper Bitcoinization? I think we're already there. Like when you see a currency like Japan go to zero against Bitcoin, I think we're already there. And this thing will take years to play out. But we're seeing signs like that. Somebody paying $1 million for that sign, the equivalent of $1 million US. We're seeing the Japanese dollar or Japanese currency go to zero against Bitcoin. So we're not really waiting. We're just like already living here. Or as we like to say, living in the future.